He had great command. You see on the board the number of strikes. It wasn't like we were swinging a lot of pitches out of the zone either. That's why he won 21 games. It's not always the guy that throws the hardest, even though he's got plenty of that. Just a lot of different pitches and command of them. It's like World Hershiser used to say, 1 to compete, 2 to win, 3 to kind of dominate. But we were going to have a similar outing like we had in Boston to have a chance there. But we stayed engaged. Real good job out of the bullpen by some young players, and we just didn't mount a whole lot or gave us much room to free will at all.
If you crunch the numbers on Dylan, obviously the last couple weeks haven't been as good as they were maybe the first few weeks when he was starting. Is there anything to that? I mean, do you look at that and get something specific that you can point to? I mean, obviously he hasn't pitched this deep into a season before.
No, I think it's about the Boston Red Sox. Dylan's doing well. Real proud of him. He's going to be a good major league pitcher. Stays healthy. Like you can say about every pitcher, young pitcher. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him pitch in the future. And it was. He's probably disappointed, but he kept us engaged in it, and it's why their club's, I think, leading about 20 points. The next team, they're a good team, but our guys pitched well enough to be more in that game. But I think Porcello had more to do with that than anything else.
But Dylan's been able to work his way out of some situations in the past and walks and stuff like that. But in that first inning with the error or the walk, does that kind of get him out of his groove a little bit early on?
Yeah, the guy's probably out of the lane, but you can't review that play. But I don't think you're going to have to grind. They do a great job of grinding at bats, a lot like our guys do at times. But they're pretty consistent, making they got some real depth to their batting order, like a lot of teams do in the American League East. And I think that's what you look at more when you're dealing with young pitchers is, how they handle that grind of, every pitch, the intensity it takes to throw every pitch. It's kind of like pitching in Colorado every night. That's what pitchers used to always talk about, pitching in Colorado. It wasn't how you felt pitching there. It's your next outing, because you have to torque every pitch. You have to be, throw your best fastball. There's no coasting areas. And I'm sure a lot like pitchers say about facing our team at times.
When you talk about good pitching beating good hitting on a given day, is this an example of a guy who can get guys out in the strike zone? You mentioned you guys really chase a lot.
You look at the strikes. I'm sure that's what Manny had in mind. The guys dotting up pretty good, and obviously dotted Manny, but his command was, and that's been his forte. He's actually evolved a little bit as a pitcher from just kind of, here's who I am, here's what I'm going to do, and you can beat me. But he's got a lot of different weapons, and it's been reflective in the year he's had for him. But was that your original question?
You talk about how major league pitchers have to get guys out of the zone more often.
There's some, but when you're able to work 3 or 4 quadrants of the plate, it's almost like being out of the zone, because you're getting a little bit of a rocking chair, and you can't, hitters at this level try to box out a pitch that you can't throw over and you can't get where you want to get it. And now it cuts down percentages of what you have to be ready for, but no point where we really got to a point where we could box a pitch out. He threw his curveball over for strikes early in the count a lot more than he did over there. But, I can't fault his last outing. It was pretty good. Gosman was just a little bit better, and they would have taken that type of outing tonight.
What was your view of
Pardon?
What was your view of Manny being hit by that pitch?
He got hit by a pitch. What was my view?
Well, your interpretation, was there, obviously Manny was upset with.
Well, first of all, in the American League, it's very easy to say, oh, he wasn't throwing him, whatever, but, pitchers don't have to wear that. It hurts. Okay, so initially, you all go stand in there and hammer a ball off your foot or get hit in the rib cage or wherever. I mean, there's an initial reaction, and Manny understands, but it doesn't, it's not que sera, sera. You're happy about everything. Got on with the game. Tim did what he felt like he needed to do, and and just like Tyler wasn't throwing at anybody, but understand where they're coming from. But it's another thing about I think of pitchers had a feel for how that feels. Obviously, he's not doing that with Trum and the guys hitting behind him, but I can understand Manny's reaction.
When you came out in the first, that was because you were asking them about the rules with as far as going out the baseline? I mean,
oh, we were also reviewing the play at second on the throw from Michael, and at the same time asking him about the lane. But the only chance he had to be in the lane was probably the last step. But, you know, Mike was in a good spot. We had a shot at second. Another great tag from Scopey tonight.
Did they tell you that wasn't reviewable? Is that what it was?
I know it's not. They don't have to tell me. I know it's not. It should be. I don't know why it's not. I'm sure it's something to do with placing runners. Hopefully they will in the future. Okay, thank you.
Sorry. How you obviously have a great right-left combination.
A what?
3-4. You know, when you have a 3-4 combination like Davis and Trumbo, you know the value of having that right-left combination in the middle of the order. Seeing Betts and Ortiz paired together, how significant is that for the Red Sox to have that as a quick strike threat?
Well, first of all, our guys aren't hitting third and fourth; they're hitting fourth and fifth. But you know, it's obvious that he's able to put those guys in between. David's having a good year against left-hand pitching too, so you kind of pick your poison. All their guys, those first 5 or 6 guys are hitting just about everybody. So it's quite a. It's tough to walk anybody there intentionally because you're just picking your poison. But same way with our club too. They're not the only ones. That's why we beat them as much as they beat us this year. Okay.